Hello guys, and in this tutorial we're going to create this. Okay, let's get started. Let's open up new file, create new file. Size, I'm going to use Instagram's standard size, 1080 by 1080, then hit create. Okay, the first image that we're going to use is the image of a giraffe. You can find this link to the stock image in the description below. You can check it out, and also the rest of the image that we are going to use, you can also find the link there. Okay, now let's remove the background. I'm going to use select subject. You can also try other technique. For me, this is the most efficient for this image. Okay, the giraffe is selected. I'm going to grab a layer mask, and voila. Now let's bring this giraffe to our main document, which is here, and then I'm going to transform, free transform, and then scale this down, drag this left, and select this giraffe. I think this is okay, and then confirm it. Well, for the next image, we're going to work on this Ivy image. You can also find the link to this stock image in the description below. Okay, we're going to use this like here as the base of our flowers and stuffs. So yeah, we're going to copy this a lot. I'm going to use lasso tool and then copy here for a while. I'm going to copy that. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm cutting it. I'm going to copy and then bring this into our main document. Let's rename this Ivy. The same goes for this one. I'm going to name it Giraffe. Okay. Now let's go select the Ivy layer. This time let's transform it, rotate it, and place it actually anywhere you want the Ivy to grow. I'm going to put it here, and then let's duplicate and place it on another side. Free transform, and then there it is. Let's duplicate again. I'm going to transform again. Okay. And let's duplicate. Actually, you can duplicate as many as you want. Also, you can also free transform and flip this by right click and flip horizontal. Okay. I'm going to duplicate once more, maybe here. Control T. Oh no, I'm going to use free transform and then flip horizontal again. Okay, now if you want to bend this, you can try using puppet warp. But now the problem is this is a bit disjointed, so you can bend this, but here's to fix it. The problem, because the lines between the leaves is way too thin, we need to make it a bit more thicker. So let's duplicate this maybe one more time, so you actually have three similar or the same layer. Now select by pressing shift, so you select these three, and then let's merge this together here. As you can see, the lines now more stronger than this one. And let's give a try to puppet warp. Yeah, now they are more united. So let's bring this down here, and now let's go to edit puppet warp once more. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you can also apply it to another layer, like here for example. I'm going to control click here, so automatically the layer is selected, and then let's duplicate this and then shift and then merge this layer, merge layer. Then you can go puppet warp to bend this ivy. Yeah, maybe like that. You can free your creativity there. Okay, for the next image, I'm going to use the sunflower as our first flower to be put in the artwork. I'm going to select this one. Let's use select subject if it works. No, actually not. I don't need the leaves. So I'm going to use a quick selection tool and select only the flower. And yeah, that's great. And then let's go to select and mask to see better selection and put it on black. Put opacity up, and yeah, actually it's pretty nice. So I don't need to alter any parameter here. I'm going to go for layer mask. That's it. And then actually I don't need the other part, so I'm just applied layer mask. Let's rename it sunflower. And now let's grab move tool and bring it here. Wow, pretty big. Put it on the top, and then let's free transform this, and on here just drag left. Maybe you need to rotate, or yeah. There it is, the first sunflower, and you can duplicate and move it on the other area. Yeah, maybe here. I'm going to duplicate again and maybe put here, and maybe rotate it a bit. Okay, for the next step, it's basically the same as the sunflower images. You simply select an image and then you remove the background and bring it here. Either you want to duplicate and rotate it and place it anywhere you want on here. So I'm going to speed up the process. Okay, for the next part, let's add smaller flowers. I'm going to use this image. Yeah, this small groups of flower. I'm going to only need this part, and then I'm going to use select and mask, and I'm going to use this one quick selection tool and simply paint over here to automatically select the proportion of the flower. Yeah, I think that is enough. And so to see the transparency of this background, I think I'm quite happy with it. Just output to layer mask and hit OK. And now let's bring this to here. Of course, let's scale it down. Control T and then drag this to the left. Yeah, actually there's too many flowers. I'm going to delete this red flower. too much for me. And then let's go back here. And the daisy, I think I need to adjust some flowers here. Yeah, I think it's there. And then I think I need to rename it to small flowers. And then duplicate that. And then transform. No, actually just simply move this. And then Control T to transform it. And rotate it. I think I need to apply layer mask first. And then I'm going to use puppet warp to bend this. And to scale this down. And I'm going to duplicate that and flip horizontal. Put it here. All right. Okay, for the next part, let's create the flower scatters effects. Like as you see here, the petals are flying around the giraffe body. It's pretty easy to create that. Simply grab the lasso tool and copy. Okay, let's grab this first and then copy that and paste, and you get the first scatter like this one. You can rotate that, duplicate that, scale this down to make it a bit more random, and drag around here. And then yeah, okay, that's the first effects. And you got a lot of duplicate of that petals. You simply merge them, merge layers, and let's rename it as scatters yellow. And then the next you can change to pink. You can pick any other shapes from this flower, for example. Grab lasso tool and then yeah, just draw something like leaves or petal like this one, and then copy and then paste again, and you got the second colors for the scatter effects. The process is absolutely the same as before. Simply duplicate that, maybe scale down, yeah, just to add more randomized effects. Or you can also change the shape by using this warp tool. I think I'm too fast. Yeah, simply hit Control T or go here, transform, and then hit here this icon and change the shape. Yeah, something like that. I'm going to scale this down and then duplicate that. I'm going to merge this as simple, similar to that yellow scatter effects. You can play around with that. You can add as many as you wanted. But now I'm going to move forward and I'm going to add, like this one, the image of a bird. So I'm going to use this image. I'm going to crop this and then go to select subject and go to select and mask, and I think it's pretty okay. I'm going to output that to layer mask. I'm going to apply layer mask. Alright, now let's bring it to our main document, which is here. Let's rename it that hummingbird. Control T to scale this down. Okay, now you can also duplicate that and flip to put it in the other side. Okay, finally, now let's add the background for this artwork. So I'm going to use this image. But first thing first, I'd like to remove this animals image. I'm going to use lasso tool. And don't forget to change the mode to add, like this one. So you can make some multiple selection. Okay, like this one. And then I'm going to use fill content aware, so the Photoshop will automatically remove these animals like this one. It's pretty cool. Before we transfer this into our main document, here I need to fix the sky because I want more sky area up here. I want to extend the sky, so I'm going to use crop tool and click on this part content aware and drag this up. Okay, looks weird for a while, but now the Photoshop will automatically extend the sky area like this one. It's pretty cool. I'd like to add more. Yeah, do it little by little so the effects will be a bit better instead of doing right this much, because sometimes the area here can be copied here. It looks weird, of course. Okay, now I think it's great. Let's bring this up over here. Here it is. Let's rename it as background first and put it on the very back of the layer. This is pretty big, so I'm going to scale this down, free transform, and yeah, oh, it's pretty big, yeah. So I'm going to place the background like this one, yeah. Actually, I'm not happy with the color of the sky, so I'm going to change it. But first thing first, I'd like to convert this as to smart object. The name is changed, so I'm going to name it background again. Now let's go to select and go to filter. Go to filter, camera raw filter. And then change the color of these purples sky. So let's go to purples and drag the slider down here. Also the blues, I guess. Maybe magentas. Yeah, I'm going to reduce this because it's too pinkish. Okay, this is the grass also changed, but I'm quite like it a bit more pink on the savanna grass here. Yeah, that's it for a while. Maybe I forgot this one, the temperature. Oh yes, it changed dramatically. It's great. It should be done this first, but it's okay. So change the temperature -7 or something. Yeah, okay. Okay, for the next part, let's go back to the giraffe image. As you can see here, it looks terrible here, like it doesn't stand on the grass. So I'm going to fix that. Let's go to giraffe. Let's select the giraffe image and the layer mask. We're going to use brush tool, this brush tool, this one. If you can find it, this is actually a legacy brush, so go here and select like legacy brush, and you will find this grass shape. I'm going to use only this one, the single grass blade. And now let's go open the settings, disable the color dynamics and transfer, and that's it. And make sure the color is black for this brush, because we're going to erase this some weird part. And I think I need to make the size much smaller. Wait, some misclick that. Yeah, something like this one, and simply brush it. And now the giraffe more attached to this ground. Or I'd like to restore a bit by using white. Yeah, I think it's looks okay to me. Let's zoom it out. Yeah, it looks better for me. Okay, now what's next is adding lighting and shading effects on this flower. So we'll go back to these flowers and stuffs here. So we have the background with the light. Let's suppose the lighting coming from here, because this is the brighter area, so the light will hit on this side and this place will be a little bit darker. So let's do it. Let's select from this sunflower, right click, sunflower. I'm not going to directly dodge this one, even though it will work the same like this. Yes, you can see the difference. I'm sorry, misclick that. Yes, you can see the effects, but then the effects is permanent. You can change later on if the history already filled up. So I recommend you to use 50% gray layer to create that. Let's go to layer, hit new and layer. Let's rename it 50% gray. And don't forget to click on this one, and then the mode will be overlay, and this is also important, fill with 50% gray. And now you have custom adjustment layer only for that purpose. So let's grab the same tool as before. So you have this dodge tool activity, the same as before, but the great thing is that the original layer is not changed. So that is great. And the same for the burn tool. So you darken this and you keep the original layer. And to restore it, if you make a change here, you can use either of these. Instead, you have to use brush tool with 50% gray color. So go to brush tool, grab this foreground, and go for 50% gray, which is actually the setting is here, 0, 0, and 50. That is 50% gray with this code. And then simply click on brush tool, make sure the opacity is 100 to get the full effects, and so you reset the the 50% gray layer. Yeah, it's actually the same as before. Okay, you get it? Now let's apply this to all others flowers that you think will be hit by the light from here, just like this one. So this one hit by the lights. I'll give you examples. I'm going to see you the examples here so you can see the difference. Okay, same for this one. So only the right side got hit by the light, and basically using, look at many of this adjustment layer. So this process is going to be very repetitive and maybe takes more time, so I'm going to speed this up to shorten the videos. You can also add some shadow around the flowers or beneath the flowers. Say for example here under this pink flower, I'd like to add shadow. So let's create a layer below the pink flower, rename it as shadow, and then the mode will be multiply. Now grab brush tool. The color will be something like dark, this one. The opacity could be as low as 20 or 40, and then I'm going to try it. Yeah, something like that. Maybe put it way down so you can also add around here. Good. How does it look? Let's see the difference. Yeah, looks better. It feels the flowers is more attached to each other. Okay, now we are nearly there for the final editing, but before we go to the final tone, I'm going to fix this a bit. I don't know, I just don't like this part, and also I would like to change this sky a little bit more blue, and this time I'm using a custom layer with the blending of overlay, and I'm going to use brush tool with a color like this one on the sky, but a bit more saturated like this. The opacity, I think, yeah, 30% is fine, and the size 1000 pixels maybe, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, for me it looks better, or just reducing the intensity of the blue, make it more desaturated, and let's see, or maybe the opacity 20%, and let's do it again. I brush it here, and yeah, for me it looks better. Let's see the difference. Yeah, the blue is a bit more pop up. Okay, now let's create the final tone for this artwork. I'm going to use filter camera raw filter, but the problem is camera raw filter only applies to one layer, so we need to turn all this into one layer. So let's select the top layer and go all the way down to this bottom layer and press shift so you select all layer, and now right click and convert to smart object. Okay, now it becomes one layer. And if you want to edit the original artwork, it's actually kept here because it's a small object. So yeah, if you want to edit the artwork again, simply go here and then save it, Control S, or go here, save, and then the artwork will be updated here. Okay, now let's go to camera raw filter. Basic. Don't think I need to change much on here. Maybe a little bit more cooler. Anyway, this is really up to you. If you want to get your image a bit warmer or cooler, it's really up to you. The most important is in the color mixer. You can mix the color as you want it. For example, the sky gets a little bit more turquoise, whatever. Maybe the grass also change, a bit more pinkish. Yeah, you can play around with these sliders. Yeah, you can play around with all these sliders to meet your liking. Well, that's it for this tutorial. And if you have any questions, simply leave the comments in the box below. Until then, see you for the next tutorial.